The Supreme Court just sided with Donald Trump in order to block mail-in voting. And here's why that's, quite frankly, very dangerous. The Supreme Court and Donald Trump, they understand that significantly more Democrats vote by mail compared to Republicans. And also what they understand, it's not just about blocking the more Democrats from voting by mail. It's also, they want to give Donald Trump and the federal government voter list of every single person in every state. The reason why that's important is because they want the federal government to be able to decide who can vote. So many people don't know this, but the 2000 election, Al Gore actually defeated George Bush, but the Supreme Court decided that they were going to decide which votes counted. And of course, they decided to purge the ballots of many black and brown voters, so their votes did not count. So the Trump administration's plan is to do this on a federal scale. This makes it much easier for a Trump regime to rig the election. And the reason why that is because as of right now, elections are decentralized, meaning each individual state controls their own election process. What they're trying to do is federalize the process and centralize government and centralize the voting process. So therefore, it's easier for the federal government to rig the votes. So by giving the federal government list of voters of every state, they get to do the exact same thing that was done in the 2000 election with Al Gore and George Bush, but nationally. So let's say this person has a Hispanic sounding name, Jose Alvarez. They will say, oh, this person named Jose Alvarez, he lives in this part of Michigan, and this person also named Jose Alvarez, he lives in this part of Michigan. So we're only going to allow one of them to vote, or none of them to vote, because maybe it could be fraud, because their name sounds the same. So it's impossible to be two Jose Alvarez's in the entire state of Michigan, so none of them can vote. And they want to do that nationally in every single state. So this is extremely dangerous because they're trying their best to give the midterm to the Republicans. The Republicans cannot win an election on their own merits. They have to find a way to cheat every single time because they're always terrible. Every time the Republicans get power, they destroy shit. Every single time. Right now, they own the presidency, the Supreme Court, and Congress, and everybody hates them. This is the most insecure people I've felt about their future in decades. And the Republicans own everything. So instead of winning things fair in an election, they try their best to constantly rig it. The Supreme Court already made a decision in order to redistrict, pretty much wiping out black representation all over southern states. And now they're trying to do this where they're ensuring that less Democrats can vote, and they're deciding who is able to vote. They're doing everything they can to try to rig the election for Republicans. What should wake everybody up to this is Donald Trump constantly say mail-in voting is rigged. We can't trust mail-in voting. He votes by mail. Donald Trump always votes by mail, yet he says mail-in voting is a scam, it's rigged, and people fall for that. So the Supreme Court is trying to destroy democracy. They're trying their absolute best, and we cannot let them. We need to protest them every single day. They should never have a moment of peace. We need to make sure that we all show up on election day and vote. Every single person, whether they're currently registered or not, needs to register. And if you are registered, once you are, get out and vote, because we gotta get these people out. And if voting was not so important, they wouldn't constantly be trying to take away your right to vote.